very warm welcome to Markets Today this Monday afternoon. We want to give you an overview of what was happening on the NSE last week, and we have something special packed for you. I'll give you a bit of a highlight in terms of what is happening. Now remember, we do stream live on our Facebook page, that's Metropole TV, or YouTube page, or you can also find us on your free-to-air accessed on a free-to-air basis. Now let's take a look at what was happening last week on the NSE. It was a corporate earnings affair. The week started off with Safaricom announcing its half-year results. Then it was followed by KCB and Equity Bank that announced their third quarter earning results. This was what was dominating market activity rather than volumes over that week. For Safaricom, which announced last week on Monday, that's the 9th of November, it announced a 6% decline to its profit after tax. Profit after tax for that period was 33 billion shillings. Now, what was happening is that the onset of COVID meant that the central bank zero-rated any transfers for 1,000 shillings and less. In other words, Safaricom was not making any money for M-Pesa transfers of 1,000 shillings and less. However, the company did improve the number of transactions and the value that it was doing on M-Pesa by 60%. What does this mean for the future of Safaricom? We will be having a one-on-one conversation with our acting Chief Finance Officer, Ms. Ilana Darcy, to unpack these numbers and help us understand what next for Safaricom. Continuing in with the corporate earnings updates, KCB and Equity Bank both announced their third quarter 2020 financials. For the KCB group, it announced a 43% drop in profit after tax to 10.8 billion. On the other side, Equity Group announced a decline, but it wasn't as material as KCB Group. This decline was down 14.6% to 14.8 billion shillings. Now, it has been a hard year for the economy in terms of the business environment and also at a personal level for individuals who have had to contend with COVID-19 pandemic. It's not possibly going away, and there is talk of a second wave both in Kenya and especially globally. But the question is, as an investor, is this the worst cycle that we've gotten into, and how can we weather the storm? Today, we start off by understanding Safaricom to see if the worst is over or if anything could go wrong, and understand the investment case. When we take a break, we will be introducing our guest for the day. When it comes to KCB and Equity Group, we will be looking for an analyst to speak to us and help us understand, were these good numbers, were they bad numbers? But on the face of it, I had the chance to actually dig deeper into the numbers. They are not bad numbers because the banks are still growing. They are still lending. There's still an appetite for credit in this environment. They're still giving credit to the government of Kenya through treasury bonds or treasury bills. They're still making money. I think what is making their numbers not look as good is the fact that they have to provide for every credit facility that they give. In other words, loan loss provisions are what are eating into the profitability of these banks. If that's the case, then that does come out as a short-term issuance with the banking sector, meaning if you are looking at the banks for the longer term, there's certainly opportunities to buy on price weakness as we get closer to the end of the year. For now, let's take a one-on-one conversation and understand the half-year numbers for Safaricom, which are down 6 percentage points to 33 billion shillings. We will be having a virtual conversation with Ms. Ilana Darcy. She is the Chief Finance Officer of Safaricom Limited. This will happen after the break, so we invite you to join us in this conversation. What did you think about the numbers? Are you an investor of Safaricom? 20146, that's our SMS line, or you could reach out to us on Twitter at Metropole TV or Mbithem at Mbithem Wema as well on Twitter to give us your thoughts and your sentiments. After the break, Ms. Ilana Darcy, Acting Chief Finance Officer of Safaricom. See you in a few.